All right, everyone, welcome to the 187 District Court. These are the rules of the 187 District Court. Whether you're at your home, at the Bexar County Jail, or at your office, you are in a courtroom. You need to behave as though you are in a courtroom. Anything that you could not do if you were physically in the courtroom, you cannot do on this Zoom screen. If you behave inappropriately on this Zoom screen, your Zoom privileges will be revoked and you will be required to appear in the 187 District Court. It doesn't matter if you're out of country, out of state, or out of county. And then your Monday is going to turn into a bad Monday. Let's try to keep this as a good Monday for everyone. To all the inmates, you're not allowed to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you will be sent back and we may be able to see you in another 30 days. The jail is shorthanded at the moment. To everyone who's at home, you're not allowed to be in your bed. You're not allowed to be doing laundry. If you're at work, you need to find a place, let your supervisor know you need to take a break and you need to find a quiet place and you need to find a stationary place. To everyone, this is not the Bachelor or the Bachelorette. You're not allowed to try and pick up dates on this Zoom. If you do that, your Zoom privileges will be revoked. To all the inmates, you are not allowed to use the internet. You are not allowed to use Facebook. If you do any of those things, you will be sent back to your cell. I'm going to open breakout rooms. When I open up the breakout rooms, it will invite everyone to a breakout room. Do not, I repeat, do not go to a breakout room unless I call your name and specifically assign you to a breakout room. To all the defendants or those who are accused, your attorney's name will be called. Your name will not be called. If you do not see your attorney, it is because your attorney is Zooming in another courtroom, or either your attorney had to appear in person in another county. So be patient. Everyone, make sure you have patience in your pocket, and today will be a great Monday. To all attorneys, if you have a plea bargain agreement, no matter how small the plea bargain agreement is, you need to put that agreement in the chat box to the court coordinator. She's listed as Ferguson coordinator on the Zoom screen. Do not call her, do not email, do not text her, do not chat her requesting a reset or a continuance. I'm the only person who can do that for you. Attorneys, I'm going to call your name. This is the order in which you will appear. If you see you're on the list and you wish to Zoom to another courtroom, you're more than welcome to do so. However, the court will be taking its break at exactly 12 p.m. today. So if your business is not done with the court by 12 p.m. today, you will be required to come back at 2. Bill Simmons, David Collins, Greg Demarier, Kelly Pittle, Joseph Appelt, H. Dave Sanchez, Sean Dawes, Teresa Connolly, Warren Wolf, Dirk Ashbaugh, Catherine Valenzuela, Raymond Bell, Matthew Finch, Charles Bonk, Gary Chirac, and Larry Bloomquist. Is there any attorney's name that I have missed? All right, attorneys, when I call your name, I need to know whether your client, I'll need to know your client's name, and I need to know whether that case is criminal trial division or family violence. If you have the ability to add to your screen name the name of your client and whether or not it was criminal trial division or family violence, that will be greatly appreciated. I'm going to assign you to a breakout room. The prosecutors have the ability to move throughout the breakout rooms. Think of those breakout rooms as you're going to the doctor's office. You just checked in this morning, and what's going to happen is a nurse is going to come get you, and when they put you in the little breakout room in the back, they're just checking your weight and your blood pressure. So when you're in those rooms, be patient, pull some patience out of your pocket if needed. If you leave that room and say, I've been here for 10 minutes, no prosecutor has come, I guarantee you, based on the laws of the world, a prosecutor was on that way to that room and they now see that room is empty and they're going to skip right over that room. And when you come out to tell me a prosecutor hasn't been here, I'm going to be able to look at all the rooms and I'm going to see where you just got skipped over. So first attorney is Bill Simmons.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I have Mr. John Salazar. He is CTD. We would like to confer.
I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. David Collins.
Morning, Judge. How are you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's Monday for the surprise hearing. I wasn't expecting to have the hearing because I didn't know I had this guy. Ricardo Madrigal. It's a MTR.
Oh, yeah.
I never got an appointment email, so the email from Norma last night was a surprise, to say the least.
Oh. Well, I will tell you, the system assigns attorneys. We don't, and the system puts people on the docket. We're
Oh,
not.
I know, Judge. I was blaming the system. I wasn't blaming you all.
All right.
It's
I
always easier.
appreciate, I always say, put the blame where it should go.
It's always easier just to blame the system or them. Thank you,
Okay.
Judge.
You're welcome. Number 3. Greg Demaria, you have Mr. Valdez, that's CTD.
That's correct, Judge.
I think this is a 5th or 6th violation report. We'll take care of that today. I'll send you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Kelly Piddle.
I have Isaiah Martinez. I put 7 CTD, but it's 701, Judge. It's a red hearing.
Okay. I'll give you breakout room number 5.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Joseph Appelt.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Gregory Moten. It's a failure to register, so I'm not sure if that'd be CTD or family violence.
That's family violence.
That's what I thought it would probably be.
I'll send you to number 6.
Thank you.
You're welcome. H. Dave Sanchez.
Morning, Judge. I have Eduardo Mercado. It's the Criminal Trial Division. This is also one of those where I never received a notice of appointment. I'm not sure what happened on that one. So.
All right, I'll send you to number 7. You're welcome. Sean Dawes.
I'm here, Judge. This is on John Anthony Perez, but I'm here.
Yes. What is it CTD?
Yes.
All right. And then Warren Wolf, you have him as well?
Yes, Warren should be here.
That's correct.
All right, Mr. Dodge, you're going to have to mute whatever you're doing over there. Thank you.
Judge, can you enable hosting for everyone, please?
Yes. All right, I'll send you and Warren Wolf to breakout room number 8.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let me make sure that I have co-hosted everyone. Teresa Conley.
Good morning, Your Honor. Civil Trial Division, Destiny Shavira. I spoke with Meredith before. We kind of have an agreement from the last time.
All right, I'll send you to number 9.
And Judge, just so I can come in on that, I guess am also representing Destiny Chavera. I talked to her and she said I guess she might have hired Teresa, but I am still the official attorney of record, I think, on the court system, but I'm not sure, Judge.
All right, I'll send you both to number 9. And Norma, if you could go to number 9, please.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be there in just 1 second, Judge.
Thank you. All right, Catherine Valenzuela. Thanks for changing your name. I'll send you to number 10. Raymond Vale, thanks for changing your name. I'll send you to number 11.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Matthew Finch,
Good morning, Your Honor. Fernando Luevano, I think it's a motion for a bond reduction, but if I could confer with Marcus, Mr. Sanders, I'd appreciate that. And my client,
what's the last name?
Luevano,
Spell that, please.
Luevano, Your Honor, and I do see him at the jail on the screen. But if I could just confer with Marcus, we've gotten some discovery since I filed the motion.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 12.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Charles Bonk,
Yes, Judge.
yes, who do you have?
Rick Contreras and Crystal Gonzalez.
Okay, let me just change your name a little bit. So Rick Contreras, and what's Gonzalez's first name?
Crystal.
All right,
They're both present on the Zoom.
and are they criminal trial division or family violence?
I believe they're both criminal trial division.
Okay, I'll send you to breakout room number 13. That's a lucky breakout room number.
It better be.
Yeah,
They
it
deserve
always is. Don't mess it up, Charles.
I won't. All right. I'll be
All
there.
right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Gary Churak. Gary Churak. All right, Larry Bloomquist.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Yes, who do you
I
have?
have Javante Pettis, and I believe that it's criminal trial division, although there's a small potential that they could have filed it with the family violence division.
All right, let me see where he is. Oh, it's John. Okay,
Javante. Yeah, Jonte. Sorry, Your Honor.
okay, because it's spelled on the docket is Johnta
That's correct.
and Pittis.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 14.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. iPhone and the blue shirt on the couch at the house, you need to wake up. There's no sleeping in court. Hello?
Good morning, Webb County Sheriff's Office here. We have Mr. John Perez.
All right, thank you. His attorneys are in a breakout room.
Okay.
So just give me one moment. Is he already there or he's on his way?
He's being escorted out right now as we speak.
All right, just give me a moment.
Thank
If
you.
someone from Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence, if you could go to breakout room number 8, please.
And Judge, this is Collins. When you get a chance, I'm back for my breakout room to update the court when you're ready.
Yes, just give me a moment.
Great.
All right, yes, Dave Collins.
Yes, Judge. So I talked to Marcus. I have a recommendation. It's on the Madrigal, Ricardo. I have a recommendation from them. He looks like picked up 2 new night mag cases. I've got the police report I'm going through. I don't know if he was brought over yet or is there yet. What I was going to ask, and I talked to Marcus, and he doesn't have any objection. If we can reset for a couple of weeks, I'll do a video thing to set up with him to go over everything with him. And then I'll get back with Marcus and then we'll come back to the court and hopefully resolve it.
But just one moment. Ms. Ferguson?
Yes,
Can you see where Madrigal is in the
Yes, ma'am.
system, please? Thank you. We're going to see if they brought him over yet.
Thanks, Judge.
All right, Joseph Appel?
Yes, Your Honor, I finished conferring with Joe Ray, and if I can get a breakout room with my client, Mr. Moten, please.
And is your client in custody or on
He's in
bond?
custody, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Moten, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6 with your attorney. And Mr. Pelt, if you'll go back to 6, please.
I will, Your Honor. Thank you.
And everyone, just give me one moment.
Judge, I send you a chat.
All right, I see it. Just give me a moment. All right, Norma, what date can we call back Madrigal? If you could put it in the chat box, please. All right, Dave Collins, on your case, we're going to come back on October 18th.
Okay, Judge, and I'll get with Madrigal and I'll get back with Marcus. and
Well,
everything.
just one moment. I'm going to put a message in the chat box to you.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. See you on the 18th. You have a good rest of the week.
All right, thank you. You too.
Thanks, Judge. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Dirk Ashbaum. For some reason, there was an issue with the schedule. So you're not on that case. I guess Ms. Conley just had not signed her notification yet. So Ms. Ferguson is telling me that Teresa Conley is actually representing her.
Yes, yeah, Judge. I went into the breakout room and Teresa and I talked, and I figured I could just log off because she was hired on that one. So if there's nothing else from the court, I appreciate it, Judge, and I just ask to be excused.
All right, yes. Have a great rest of your day.
All right, you too, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you.
right.
Warren Wolf, you're back.
Judge, if I could get back in the breakout room, I changed devices.
Okay.
Thank you.
And let me see your breakout room number. You're in number 8.
Thank you.
All right, and to the deputies with John Perez, his attorneys are conferring with the state in a breakout room. As soon as they're ready for him, I will send him to the breakout room with them. But right now they're conferring with the prosecutors on his cases.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, Honor.
All right, thank you.
To not feel another similar violation, maintain and
Kevin, were you talking to me? I just logged back on.
Yeah, just sent you a chat.
All right, anyone back? H. Dave Sanchez.
Yeah, Judge, we're back. I've conferred with Meredith. I think we're going to need some more time. I just got notice that I represented him on the 14th, and I think he may have a case that's sealed, so we need to figure out what's going to happen with that.
All right, Meredith, does he have a sealed case? Do we know? Marcus? Do you know if Mr. Eduardo Mercado has other cases?
Let me check. Do you know where he is on the docket?
He's on the recall docket. His SID number is 1119203.
Yes, he has 3 misdemeanors and 1 felony.
Okay, and the felony is just the possession less than a gram?
No, it looks like there's a Berghab that's awaiting indictment from late last year.
Oh, do you have a cause number for that?
Grand jury 7. Yeah. Did you still need it?
No.
No.
Do you know, is that a family violence case or?
It is.
All right, and how long do you, I guess I need the family violence prosecutor in. All right, Mr. Sanchez, just give us a second for the family violence prosecutor to come in.
Okay, Judge.
All right. And actually, you know what? Let me do this. Let me rename you. And I'll add family violence. And it'll be Joe Ray Garcia. And if you can let him know that you see where your client has a family violence case, then he'll come and see you. Let me see. I'm going to move you to number 14 because that's the next in line for a family violence prosecutor.
Okay, Judge.
All right, Bill Simmons, you're back. Bill Simmons.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
I've conferred on this matter, Your Honor. I think we're close to a resolution. I would like to, if I could speak real quickly with, I believe I was conferring with Mr. Sanders on this.
Okay.
I think this is something that we would, if we can't get done this morning, possibly this afternoon, if the court is taking.
I'm sure we can get it done this morning. We're going to have Monday faith. I'm going to send
Okay.
you. Okay.
There's
So
just,
we
yes, Judge.
got to believe.
Okay,
Yeah.
Judge.
Okay. I'm going to send you to number 3. And
Thank you,
Marcus, could you go to number 3, please? All right. Joseph Appelt.
Yes, Your Honor. Would it be possible to confer with Joe Ray again, please?
All right. If you will remain in this breakout room, I'm going to move you to 7. But if you'll remain in this breakout room in the main room until Joe Ray is available, because he's actually in another breakout room.
Okay, so I go to breakout room number 7 right now and wait for him.
No. Just wait here. Yes.
Okay.
Because otherwise Joe Ray is going to see you on the list and is going to know that he's already talked to you.
Gotcha.
But right. You know what? I tell you what, let me try this. I'm going to rename you.
Okay.
And I'll just say reconfer. All right, so if you'll go to number 7, he will be there after he finishes. He has 2 other breakout rooms that he has to get to.
I understand, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. And to all the inmates, you are not excused from this courtroom until I excuse you. And Mr. Mercado, the appropriate way to wear that mask is over your nose as well as your mouth. Mercado, L13, you're not wearing that mask properly. If you don't wear that mask properly, you will be sent back. Norma, who's the deputy with Mr. Mercado? Mr. Mercado?
Hey. I can call the jail judge.
Yes, call them. I guess maybe something's wrong with his audio.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey. ¿A quién le pico? ¿A quién le pico para que salga?
Oh, Norma, he's a Spanish speaker.
Okay, Judge.
Norma, can you let him know in Spanish that he needs to put that mask over his nose?
Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second. Sorry, Judge. I was on the phone with the deputy. Give me 1 second.
No sé inglés.
Mr. Dawes, are you ready for your client?
Yes, Your Honor, and I need a breakout room with him. The state conveyed a new offer.
All right. If you'll go back to your same breakout room, to the jail with Mr. Perez, I'm sending him to breakout room number 8. All right, Bill Simmons, you're back. Bill Simmons.
Judge, I'm not sure where you went, but I'm working on paperwork for him. And I let Norman know.
All right, thank you. Mr. Simmons, then I will send you back to breakout room number 2 with your client.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was having some.
Matthew Finch, you're back.
Yes, Your Honor. After conferring with Marcus and my client, Your Honor, I think we have a plea bargain. I'd like to try to get that set up with the court as quickly as possible, so we won't be needing a bond reduction hearing.
All right, we can
this
do
morning.
that today.
Okay, Judge.
All right, I'll send you to a breakout room with your client.
Judge, I just visited with him. If we'd be more than happy to do the deal today. I don't want to put Marcus out or the court to put all the paperwork to have to shuffle.
Oh, no, they'll have the paperwork ready for you.
Okay, Judge.
If there's an issue with the paperwork, they'll let me know. Joseph Appelt on Gregory Moten.
Yes, Your Honor. I have reconferred with Joe Ray, and I will be needing a reset, Your Honor, to do get some information, follow up on some information that Mr. Moten has provided to me. But I also have an alternative offer from Joe Ray that if I could get with my client and let him know, but I will still need to do some follow-up investigating and diligence regardless. But
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6. I need you to have your client come out of the breakout room and come back to the main room, please.
Oh, yes, Your Honor, I will do.
All right, thank you. Raymond Bell.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
I need to visit with Meredith again, if I could, real quick. We're trying to work something out on Mr. Cooley's MTR.
Okay, just give me a moment. Let me rename you. Let's see, you were in breakout room number 11.
Yes, my client's still there, Judge.
No, I'll move you. Let me see where Meredith is on this screen. I'll move you to breakout room number 3, and Meredith will meet you in 3.
Okay, Judge. Thank you.
You're welcome. Deputy Laura, could you come to the back chamber, please? If possible.
See, it says I'm unmuted.
All right, Patricia Vieira, who do you have?
Servanto Ramirez, Judge.
Okay, I'm sorry, what's the first name?
Sorry, Judge. I'm doing it backwards. It's Ramiro Cervantes.
All right, because I was looking.
He's the violation report.
Okay, let me see if I have the violation report. Ramira Cervantes. Okay, let me see. All right, I'll send you to a breakout room and a prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 17.
Okay.
And I may slowly start to move you up through the breakout rooms as people finish with their breakouts.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Joseph Appelt, you are back on Mr. Moten.
I am, Your Honor. And Mr. Moten is also out of the breakout room too.
All right, so what is happening on Moten?
We have an offer. Mr. Moten has given me some information that I need to follow up on. And
how much time do you need?
30 days or so.
All right, Norma, can you put in the chat box a date for Mr. Moten, a 30-day reset, please?
Because I have to check with the business and then possibly get some records from a motel.
All right, we'll come back on October 25th. All right, Mr. Moten, we will see you back on October 25th. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Moten. Have a great rest of your day. Norma, can you let them know that Moten 14F can go back, please?
Yes, ma'am.
May I be excused then, Judge?
Yes, thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too, Your Honor.
Thank you. Catherine Valenzuela, you're back?
Yes, Your Honor. The DA was gonna get some more police reports. The one we have is very sketchy, and so he was gonna contact his investigator on. It's on the evading and on the felon in possession of a firearm.
All right, and do you know where we are on the evaluation update?
Yes, Your Honor, he was found to be competent, but there were like suggestions that we need to meet in the office. We need to go through. It needs to be a more hands-on approach, and it can't be done with Zoom.
All right.
I feel my job can't be done with.
Is your client on bond?
Yes, he is, Your Honor, and he's present.
All right, where is he?
I think he's under iPhone.
Is that him in the navy shirt?
I believe it is, Your Honor.
All right, Norma, I need a reset date, 30 days, if you could put in the chat box for Mr. Luis Puente.
Yes, ma'am.
You said there are discovery, I guess more police reports needed, Ms. Valenzuela?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, it'll be for discovery, Ms. Ferguson.
Okay, I can.
All right, we're going to come back on October 29th.
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Mr. Puente, you can sign off now. I will be in touch. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too. All right, H. Dave Sanchez.
Judge, I've conferred with Joe Ray on the case. They're going to need about 2 weeks to figure out what they're going to do with that sealed case.
Okay.
I advise my client the same.
All right, Norma, on Mr. Mercado, could I have a 2-week reset, please?
Yes, ma'am.
And is your client in custody or on bond?
In custody, Judge.
All right. All right, you can come back either on October 1st or October 4th.
The first looks good.
All right, we'll bring you back on October 1st. Norma, he's at the Bear County Jail. Do you need to speak with him, Mr. Sanchez?
No, Judge, he was actually sent to my breakout room, so I spoke to him already.
All right, Norma, can you, let me see where he is.
He is L13, Judge.
All right, can you have them excuse him, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, you are excused. Have a great rest of your day.
You too, Judge. Thank you.
And Kevin, do you know if Robert Richardson is here?
I didn't see him, Judge. And he was scheduled for Friday. I didn't know he was coming back today.
Yes, I was giving him another opportunity to appear. Deputy Laura, do you know if Mr. Robert Richardson is in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor, he's not.
All right. Mr. Hernandez, can you
We're
send?
gonna have until.
Mr. Hernandez, can you send then, instead of him having a compliance hearing, could you go ahead and send the motion to revoke to court, please?
Sure.
All right, thank you. Teresa Conley, you're on Destiny Chavarria.
Yes, Your Honor. Destiny did what she was supposed to do, impact panel, DWI ed, and she did the drug result, got the drug test. However, they didn't get forwarded to probation. We're just sending them now to Mr. Hernandez. Her PO did get it. I mean, she did send it there, but it doesn't show up anywhere in Mr. Hernandez's record. So we just sent it. Now, there's one last thing. She's not able to send proof of her DWI ed because the guy says in order to get a separate copy, she has to come in person to do it. You won't just send it to her. You won't let her pay by credit card. So she's showing what the other things, but she doesn't have the receipt to show for DWI ed right now, even though it was forwarded.
All right, well, I'm sure there's a way to call on the phone to verify that. But just give us a moment and we will see what everyone is doing with her case.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And Norma, can you have Greg Demarie please zoom back in?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And for Criminal Trial Division, Charles Bach is number 13. On Rick Contreras and Crystal Gonzalez. Family Violence, Larry Bloomquist is on Janta Pettis and number 14.
Hey, Judge.
Yes.
Do we know if a Ramiro Cervantes showed up in the courtroom today?
Let me check the chat. No, there is not a Ramiro Cervantes in the courtroom.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Judge, are you available or should I wait?
Just give me one moment.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, okay, so Mr. Perez definitely wants to go to trial. That's the first thing. The second thing, I did file motions for bond reduction. No, he has been moved. I'm sure the court is aware. He has been moved to Webb County.
Yes.
Because he's been having all kinds of trouble in there. And he is really asking for a PR bond.
All right, let's, if you'll go back to the breakout room and bring him to the main room, please.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Can everyone just give me a moment? All right, David Martin. Let me see. David Martin.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Perez would like a hearing on his motion to reduce bond.
On a personal bond, crisis bond?
Excuse me, Mr. John Perez. You're not your attorney. You have attorneys. Do you understand?
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, you do that every time you come on here. You speak out of turn. You act as though you're representing yourself. You are not. You're in a courtroom and you need to follow the rules. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, I'm here now, Judge.
So am I.
All right, just give us a moment. I'm going to set us up. I don't know why that does that, Brenna. Brenna, I think it may be you. No. And Mr. Martin, are you going to be handling the motion in both cases?
Well, he has more than two cases.
I only have a motion to reduce bond in 2021 CR 1784 and 2021 CR 1809.
And I filed it in those two cases, the bonds and the other cases I want. Well, I mean.
All right, are we having a bond reduction hearing in all the cases?
That's strange.
He's asking for a PR bond on all his cases.
No. My question is, are we having a bond reduction hearing in all of his cases?
Essentially, yes, that's what he wants.
All right. The court only has these two motions. State, are you okay proceeding on an oral motion for a bond reduction in 2021 CR 6040, which is the deadly weapon in a penal institution? That's Mr. Wolf's case. And I don't know if Mr. Wolf is asking for a bond reduction in that case or not.
Yeah, I don't know if he is or not either.
You're on mute, Mr. Wolf.
It depends on the other cases, Judge. They're more egregious.
Okay.
And,
all right. The court does not have a bond reduction motion filed in those two cases. So we're going to go in the other two cases. The court is calling 2021 CR 1784, and 2021 CR 1809, State of Texas versus John Anthony Perez. Can I have attorneys announce for the record for the state,
David Martin.
for the defense?
John Kindos.
All right, and the court will note for the record, Mr. Perez's other attorney is here as well, Warren Wolf. However, he is not the attorney of record on these two cases, and these are the only two cases we're proceeding on with the application for bail reduction. State, have you received the defense's motion?
Yes.
State, are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No objection.
Any objection from the defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Perez, do you have any objection with this hearing taking place by video?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then defense, it's your motion. You may proceed.
Your Honor, I call John Anthony Perez to stand.
All right, Mr. Perez, if you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record, please.
John Perez.
All right, defense.
Okay, Mr. Perez, when was the last time you were arrested in Bexar County?
The last time I was arrested when I picked up the aggravated kidnapping.
Right. When was the last time?
December 12th.
Okay. And have you been in the custody of Bexar County Jail continuously since then?
No, sir. I don't get into trouble. I work every day.
Okay. Just focus. Okay. So have you been in, so did you bond out when you were arrested in December of 2020, did you bond out again?
No, sir. I've been
Okay,
held in
so
custody.
Been
Been in custody
Hey,
since.
time out. No, time out. The court reporter can only take down one person at a time. If both people talk at the same time, guess what? The court reporter is not taking the record, period. So someone needs to ask a question. Someone needs to listen to that question, wait till that question is asked, and then answer it. I'm not going to have everyone talking over each other because it makes it difficult, if not impossible, for the court reporter to take the record. She's a great court reporter, but you're asking a lot of her. And I know she would try her best to take down two people talking at the same time, but we're not going to do that. So listen to the question that's asked, wait till it's finished, and then answer the question. Mr. Dawes.
Thank you, Your Honor. So you've been in continuous custody since December of 2020, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, were you attacked while you were in custody? While you have been in custody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you describe for the court what happened?
I was stabbed 27 times in my sleep. The CO opened the door so
Okay,
4
and then-
inmates could come in and stab me.
Then when did this happen?
8:30, 2021 at 3 o'clock in the morning.
And what date was that?
It's 30th, 2021 at 3 a.m. in the morning.
The 30th of what? August?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, were you taken to the hospital?
Yes, sir.
How long did you stay in the hospital?
About 8 hours.
And then you were released?
I was released back to the county jail, to the infirmary.
Prior to your attack, did you receive any threats?
Many threats. I requested I requested my classification report. I requested my movement, my housing unit reports, my files. They will show that there's a pattern that I was assaulted, not once. I was assaulted 7 times. I have paperwork to prove it. I was assaulted while I was on the phone with my wife and kids while I had the 4-point restraints on by 4 inmates, and they charged me with the assault. The officer let 4 individuals come from a confirmed unit to assault me.
So you're alleging that the officers are in on it also?
Officers are the ones that put the hit out on me from January 9th of 2021. I was assaulted coming out of the hole on the 2nd floor, out of CC unit, going to AB unit, cell 17. Corporal Martinez and 2 of his third officers told me to hit the wall for a pat down, and they shook me down and they choked me out and broke 3 of my ribs and sent me back to the unit and refused to hit a code 2, code 1, and refused me medical treatment. I got to the unit. I reported to Officer Biles. Officer Biles refused to give me medical attention, to call rank. I got to the phone the next day. I called my family. They notified CID, Internal Affairs, and that's when the investigation started. And from January 9th of 2021, that's when I've been dealing with the retaliation of the officers, having me assaulted, taking me into units, having the inmates assault me, taking my commissary and giving it to them. I never received any of my property after I got moved or replaced from one unit to the next. And the CO said, we have to pay the inmates something. It cost us for these inmates to put in work for us. The COs, they're corrupt, they're dirty. I have a pattern. I have their names, their badge numbers. I have information that they are corrupted. They're affiliated with the Mexican Mafia, the Oro Horns. They're dirty cops.
Now, are you
Of that.
okay, are you in fear of your life? Well, of course, now you're in Webb County, but while you were in Bear County, were you in fear of your life?
Yes, I was. I had threats. I had to move my wife and kids and my grandbabies from the home that they was at on West Avenue because I was sending out mail, sending out letters with names and officers' names and badge numbers and asking them to request the camera footage and information for the CID, and the letters never got there. So I told my wife and kids when Officer Martinez, 45, 43, 55, 46, 22, Officer Garcia, as Garcia classification, 1728 badge number. These officers had come to my cell and threatened and said, if you don't stop writing grievances and drop this complaint, somebody's going to find you dead in a cell. I reported it. I reported it January, February, March 10th. They came in the BJ unit and slapped me around, and I notified my wife and the court, Mrs. Stephanie Boyd, that my life was in danger, that I had just had the night before the officer had came into my unit and slapped me around and assaulted me at 12:44 in the morning without handcuffing me. He slapped me down, told me to get naked, put my boxers back on and started hitting me, told me to get up. I feared for my life. I feared for my life because after that incident, they allowed 4 Oro Horns to come through the unit and assault me while I was on the phone while I had 4-point restraints. Now, this is all documented. I have paperwork. The cameras will prove it. When my case goes to trial, the cameras will be subpoenaed. Body cameras, hallway footage, everything I say is 100% facts and truth. I'm not lying. I don't run with no gang. I'm a Solano, and I refuse to be a part of anything or a part of anybody else.
Now, let me ask you this. So you've now been moved to Webb County, correct?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And how long have you been there?
I've been here since last week, and I'm safe. I'm good. These officers are treating me with care, and I feel safe. Other than they took my legal work when I came in and they put it in a vault and they said I wasn't entitled to have it until I got to the housing unit. And all I said is I had trial coming up on Friday. I needed my legal work as part of my due process and part of my rights to have my legal work.
Okay, so You now consider yourself safe in Webb County. Why do you still need pure bond?
Well, I was just requesting, you told me that you wanted to help me get out of here.
Right, but you need to put this on the record.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
'Cause
I was stabbed 27 times. I want to get home to my family. If you can give me a crisis bond, I'm requesting a crisis bond, please, Your Honor. The prosecutor, DA's office. All I do is work. I'm not a problem. I just got involved with a bad relationship with a girl that took me in the wrong direction. I'm a pillar to my community. I work every day. I'm a good man. And
okay. And what is your wife's name for the record?
Amanda Lee Lopez Perez.
And does she live on her own, an apartment or a house?
Yes, we have a house.
Okay. And is that where you'd go?
Yes.
If you're renting a
Yes,
bond?
I'll go with my wife and daughters and my grandbabies.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a job lined up?
Yes, I'm a contractor. I have work already lined up. My son is out there working. My son and my brother, they've been holding my company up, turning dreams into reality.
Contractor.
I'm a glazer. I install glass windows, mirrors, showers. Yes, sir. It's not hard for me to find work. I clean windows if I have to. I've never lacked on work. There's never been an excuse for me to say, hey, I can't find work. I work every day from 5 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon.
Okay.
I'm a workaholic.
Okay. You remember Kimberly, the complainant?
Yes.
In the
Yes, sir.
kidnapping case?
Yes,
well,
sir.
actually, in both cases.
Yes.
So what assurances would you be able to give the judge that you're not going to try and do something to her?
No, I mean, I'm not a hateful person. Like I'm all about peace. I'm a positive man, and you know what, I want to restrain an order. I want to keep her away from me. I that was the issue of me telling her, go home. Go. I can't go to work and leave you in the house because you're doing drugs, and I just want you to kick and get clean and get your kids back. I try to help her. I try to be a good man. And while she was detoxing, withdrawing, being delusional, she created this. I never mistreated her. I never put my hands on her. I despise a woman beater. I despise a child molester. I raised my voice and told her, you know what, get your shit and get out of here. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I apologize. But I'm an innocent man. That's why I refuse to take a plea bargain or a deal. I stand tall on being truthful and honest and innocent, and I will go to trial, and the truth will set me free, Your Honor. DA's office, I have no malice. I'm not angry at anybody. I've learned from my mistakes, and I know that I got involved with a girl that was younger than me, that was strung out. I've never done drugs. I don't get high. That's never been my thing.
Your Honor, pass the witness at this time.
All I want to do is get home to my wife and kids and my grandbabies and work and provide for my mother.
Dave?
Are we done?
Yes, State, you may proceed.
Okay.
Sorry.
When you were at the hospital, how many stitches did you get?
Stitches?
Yeah.
They didn't give me no stitches.
So you got stabbed.
They glued them up with super glue.
Okay. So were they superficial cuts?
That's the new procedure. Yes.
Okay, well,
I can show you. I still have some, and it's been a week, 2 weeks, but I still have some open scab wounds that are healing up. I got stabbed in my neck, in the back of my head, in my ear, on my rib cage, and my kidneys, my back legs, my buttocks, my rib cage, my arms, underneath my arms. I mean, I got them right here still. If you want me to show you, I can pull up my shirt and show you the wounds, if that's what you want.
I'm sorry, Judge, can we have permission?
No, he needs to sit down and listen to the questions that are asked. No, stop.
I
How
thought
many
you wanted
times
me to show.
did he ask? Let me ask you this. No. Mr. Perez, how many times do I have to tell you to listen to the questions that are asked of you? It appears that you are unable to follow instructions. I said, listen to the questions that are asked of you. There's to be no talking over each other because the court reporter cannot take down two people speaking. If you continue to have problems following instructions, what will happen is this hearing will be continued for another day. Do you understand? Mr. Perez, do you
Yes.
understand?
Yes,
I'm not going to repeat these instructions again. Stay.
yes. I understand.
Okay, so if they just glued them up, were they superficial cuts or?
They were stab wounds.
Okay, well, if they were deep stab wounds into like tissue and muscle, I mean, they'd have to go in and at least stitch the muscle back together, right?
Yes.
Did they do that?
No.
Okay, so they just put some glue on you and sent you back to the jail.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why would all these people be after you?
I can't assume what their reasons was. I can't make that statement.
Okay, you say you don't run with gangs. Were you ever in a gang?
No.
Then why
Not
would you
down here.
be why
Not
would you
down
be
here.
documented as a Latin count?
I was a Latin count out of Detroit. I'm from Detroit. I left Detroit, Michigan to get away from the gang.
Okay, so when I asked you if you used to run with a gang, you said no, that's not true.
Well, down here, run with any of these gangs down here. Like,
okay, well, let me clarify. From the day you were born, wherever it was, until today, as we talk while you're sitting there in the Webb County Jail, have you ever been in a gang?
Yes.
Okay. And I notice your hair's starting to grow back. What are you trying to cover up on your head? What's the tattoo?
I wasn't trying to cover it up. They've had me in the infirmary where I can't get the clippers, but it's a Virgin Mary.
Okay, what about your neck? What's on your neck?
Just writing.
Okay, what's it say?
El más loco.
What's that mean?
The crazy one.
Is that referring to you?
Yeah.
Are you the crazy one?
Yeah.
Okay,
that was referring to me when I was young.
Was that your gang name, the crazy one?
Yeah.
Do you have any criminal history out of Detroit?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yes.
What is it?
I had a couple run-ins with the law when I was younger.
Well, that would be what criminal history is.
You're talking about juvenile or?
I'm talking, what have you been arrested for in Detroit?
In Detroit, Michigan, assault with intent to murder.
Did you go to prison?
Yes.
How
I
long?
did 10 years. I did 10 years.
years.
I did all my time.
Okay. And who was that person that you assaulted with the attempt to murder?
I don't know. Didn't have no personal, I didn't know him personally.
So you just attempted to murder a stranger?
It was more of self-defense than, it was a bar fight. I got hit in the face with the bottle and the pull stick, and that's what led into the fight. I pulled out my gun and shot the guy. Well, it was a bar fight. I didn't know the guy. We wasn't enemies. I wasn't trying to kill him. I was just trying to get up at the bar. Once I got hit in the face with the beer bottle, and got hit in the back of the head with the pull stick or the ball. I didn't realize what happened. I just pulled my gun out and was trying to get out the bar, and I shot the guy. I shot him in his leg. I shot him in his thigh. That's
were y'all the only two there?
No.
Because you wouldn't do 10 years in prison for you wouldn't do 10 years. You wouldn't do 10 years in prison for self-defense.
Well, they didn't have the self-defense law, sir. So I took responsibility of my crime, and I accepted my punishment. And I didn't ask for no deals or no plea bargains. I told the judge, you know what? The guy came to court. I felt sorry for him, that he was out of work, and it happened. And I accepted full responsibility, and I did my time. And I left. Once I was done with my time, I moved. I said, let me get away from Detroit and let me come to Texas and start my company and take care of my family. And I left that gang life alone. And I chose to walk by myself. I chose not to be a part of nothing. I don't want to be a part of nothing. I know ain't nothing good with that. I'm 45 years old. I'm too old for that. My gang is my family, my kids, my babies. That's who I live and die for. Don't judge me for my past because I've already did my time for that.
Well, no, we're not judging you for your past, but I mean, we're trying to make sure that the community is going to be safe because you're asking to reduce bonds and get out. But the fact is you continue to have multiple problems while you're in the jail, right?
With gang members.
Because you used to be
With
a gang member?
With gang members or you're talking about with the police? Because the police are the ones that put the gang members on me. They're the ones that authorized the hit on me.
Okay. Well, what did the wall do to you that you damaged it on July 1st in the jail? Did the wall attack you?
They had me in a room butt naked on an EMS hold, 24-hour hold, and in a room that was under construction, that the table was already dismounted off the wall and a hole was in the wall. And they charged me $375 for that. Then they gave me a possession of a dangerous weapon for a light switch that the maintenance was taking off the lights and left behind. I never had a weapon. That ain't no weapon. I plead not guilty to that. I didn't damage any room. I didn't break no wall down.
Okay, but did you have a light switch or whatever you say it was in your cell?
No, I told the officer, I said, hey, they left something in here. They're taking off the light fixtures to where we can't control the light switches in the rooms anymore. So the light switches are being built on the outside of the doors for the COs to leave the light on all night. That way, when he does a round, he ain't got to use his flashlight. Now, when they did their round, I said, hey, there's a light switch. They left some stuff in here. They came in and one of the cops said, hey, make it stick. They made it stick. It's a dangerous contraband. I mean, there's a difference between, I looked up the elements of a weapon. There was no handle on it. There wasn't sharpened to a point. It's not a weapon. It was a light switch cover. But they charged me with the possession of a dangerous weapon in a penal institution. I can't argue that, only in court. That was not a weapon. My lawyer's there, the motion discovery package, it will show you that it was not a weapon. They charged me $375 that I paid for a hole in the wall that I did not put. They put me in a room butt naked with my boxers. I had no means of tearing a table off and knocking a hole in the wall. They put me in a room that was under construction already.
Okay, and what about May 31st when you're accused of making a threat to one of the nurses in the mental health unit in the jail? Did she attack you?
No, that's when I was asking for help. That's when I was asking Sergeant McRoberts and Sergeant Hopes for help. Hey, don't place me in this unit. These niggas are trying to kill me. And they took that statement. Because I'm a street. They took that statement the way I talk and they had me in medical in a padded room in a suicide jacket. I can't kill nobody. I can't even kill myself. And by that statement that I said, hey, these niggas are trying to kill me. You trying to house me in somewhere where I don't belong. You know what they did? They gave me a terroristic threat. I don't even know who they said I threatened. I'm in a padded room begging for help, saying, hey, stop put my life in imminent danger. You cannot just house me anywhere. So is there a negligence there? Yes, there's a pattern. For the last 6 months, these officers has just been putting me in hostile environments and putting my life in imminent danger to where they knew that I wasn't going to be safe and I had to act out in order to get out of there. I'm not suicidal. I'm not even homicidal. I didn't want to hurt anybody. Not even the guys that came in my cell and stabbed me 27 times. I knocked them to the floor. I faded that. I made it out to talk about it. 4 of them came in my cell and stabbed me while I was laying down sleeping at 3 a.m. because the CO opened the door. Now, where's the justification in that? I knocked the knife out of their hand 3-4 times. I could have picked it up and stabbed somebody. I could have killed one of them, but that ain't what it's in my heart. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm not an evil person. I'm not an evil person. I got God in me. All I want is peace. All I ask them to do is, protect me, keep me safe. The cop clearly violated the color of law. Under the color of law, he violated to serve to protect me. He opened the door so 4 inmates could come in there and stab me to death. And that was their promise. You keep it up, Perez, we're going to let these inmates finish you off. Now, I have nothing to hide. I don't care what inmates know me, what they see. I have nothing to hide. The truth is the truth. I am not the instigator. I was running. I was trying to protect myself. And I have not hurt anybody. I have taken beatings. I've been assaulted. I've been threatened. My family has been threatened. I have moved my wife and my kids and my grandbabies and told them, move. Go. You got to get out that house right now, because the officers have come and laughed at me in my cell and threatened to burn my house down. Terroristic threats. If I didn't drop the complaints, if I didn't drop the grievances, they swore to me, you know what, your family's house will be burned down at 4:30 in the morning if you don't cut it out. And I didn't. I stand for what's right. So I kept making the complaints. I wanted somebody to hear it. I wanted the CID to investigate it. Stop ignoring it. These are serious crimes that are being committed. My life is in danger. My life has been threatened. Now they took the attempt to kill me. You're saying I got scratched 27 times? That hurts you know what? I'm hurt by that. Because I had faith in the judicial system. I had faith in the city of San Antonio. But if I was to get released, you know what? I have nothing negative to do or to say. I'm all positive. I'm a positive man. I've given my life to God. If I see you're hungry, I'm going to feed you. If I see you're weak, and I'm going to pick you up and share my strength with you. If I see you're ignorant, I'm going to educate you. And I'm not a lawyer. I'm not. I don't have no law school degree, but I'm not ignorant. I'm very intelligent. I've educated myself, and I love sharing my wisdom and my knowledge with whoever is there to seek it. I'm a peaceful man. I got God in me. I am a Messiah. I give praise to the Almighty Lord. I'm not no gangster, and I'm not going to run with no gangsters. I'm not going to let them govern me or use me as a flunky. I'm 45 years old. I know right from wrong. They try to pressure me to stab a police. And you know what? I said, no, I will not stab that cop. And it's written. There's documentation of that. So don't make me look like a bad guy, because I'm not. It will come out in trial, in court, that I had 4, 5 inmates telling me, you know what? Stab that police officer, stab that cadet, that officer that came in and assaulted you and disrespected the canton. You got to clean that up, because if not, you're going to be considered trash. And I told the officer, I said, get me out of here, because these guys are pressuring me to stab one of you. I'm doing my paperwork on you. I'm not going to assault you. I don't want to bring no harm to you. But you know what? I will file these grievances, and I will get a $50 million lawsuit if that's what it takes, because I'm going all the way through with it. My rights has been violated, my state, federal, and my constitutional rights. I'm a man. I work hard for a living. I'm not no gangbanging punk that's taken from the community, selling drugs or robbing from the community. I'm the one that's helping the old people and giving my hand and doing my best, because the things I do is what makes me who I am. And I want to be a good person. I strive every day to be the best that I can be. And anybody that knows me, that I've been around, can vouch for that. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy that you shouldn't give me a chance to get out and prove to you that I'm going to go to work every day and take care of my family and be thankful that I'm alive. However you guys want to proceed with this, I'm all in. I'm ready to go to trial, and I'm ready for the truth to set me free. With me being assaulted in Bexar County Jail and them not wanting to give me an interview with the news, case 12-5, it's up to you. The ball's in your court. Your Honor, I respect you. I'm sorry. I'm humbly asking you guys for a crisis bond to release me.
All right, is there another question, Mr. Martin?
Why would they single you out of all the people in the jail?
Because I stood up to him. I stood up and told him that I didn't want to assault an officer. When Corporal Martinez came into my cell March 10th at 12:44 in the morning and assaulted me because my tray slot was jammed up, the guys on the Rock and BJ unit told me, hey, you let that chaffa ass police come in here and disrespect you in the canton. Now you better handle up and take care of your business. My father's a retired San Antonio police officer. My daughter's full military. My son's full military. I have family with the law enforcement. I refuse to assault any officer. I will not be pressured to stab any officer or to spit on any officer. I try to plead with them officers and said, you know what? You guys are violating my rights when they broke my ribs. July 9th. I said, why are you doing this to me? And they had I thought they was high. I asked them, I said, are you high on drugs or what? That you don't value your career, that you're abusing my rights, you're abusing the law. You stood up and took the oath to uphold. You're not above the law. You just assaulted me for no reason. I was being peer pressured to stab a cadet, an officer, and I refused. I stood up for what was right. And I'm going to still stand up for what's right. I don't care who's listening.
All right, is there another question, please?
I have no more questions.
All right, defense, any follow-up?
You said that there's an internal affairs investigation, John?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mrs. Anderson.
Do
Mrs.
you know
Anderson. Officer Anderson.
Do you know the status of that investigation?
She's going for, yes, she's all in. She told me let her handle it. And that she,
Also,
I mean, you're my lawyer.
All right, any cross-examination? Any recross?
No, Judge.
All right, the court will hear argument. Defense is your motion. You may start.
Well, Judge, I did email out State's Exhibit number 1, which is
I'm sorry, I didn't know the state had evidence.
It's okay. Yeah, no, I just sent it.
All right, Mr.
It should be coming through.
Dawes, the court has received by email State's Exhibit number 1. The court has not opened it or reviewed that. So if you will review that, State, are you offering State's Exhibit number 1 into evidence?
Yes.
All right, defense, if you'll review that and let me know if you have any objections to it.
It says criminal history, so no objection.
All right, State's Exhibit number 1 is admitted. State, any other evidence?
No.
All right, then the court will hear argument unless defense any further evidence based upon State's Exhibit.
No further evidence, Your Honor.
All right, then the court will hear argument.
Your Honor, obviously, I mean, my client has several charges, but the most important thing is that he is in fear of his life in the Bexar County Jail. Yes, he has been transferred to Webb County, but he needs to be out there with his wife. I mean, Webb County, that's pretty far away. So, and I know he's very close to his wife. His wife contacts me all the time. And, you know, he states on the record that he will have nothing to do with the complainant in both, well, I'm sorry, the complainant in the kidnapping case, which has 2 or 3 counts. And if the court is willing to maybe do ELM or something like that, I mean, I'm sure he'll be agreeable to that. But the key thing is to allow him to be out so that he can be reunited with his wife. He seems to, I think he has all adult children, and his wife wants him there. So on that basis, I asked for pure bond, but also there's a chance that he could possibly be sent back to Bexar County. And he is in fear of his life. There is a continuing investigation, as you know, Mr. Perez has put on the record. So on that basis, he's asking for a PR bond.
All right, PR bond is going to be denied in each of the cause numbers. And defense counsel, your motion states motion for a bond reduction. Did you wish to speak to the bond amount?
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, so the bond is on the act cannot be set at $75,000. The other one is $20,000. clearly is indigent by the fact that he has indigent counsel. And he's asking for it to be reduced to an amount that he can afford. And of course, he does have a criminal history and it is a first-degree felony. However, I would like the court to take in mind that, jail is not the best thing for him. So if we could consider reducing it all the way down to maybe 10,000 so he can, so his wife can help to bond him out. So I guess 10,000 on both. And I am mindful that he has a criminal history and he has a criminal history from Michigan. However, you have to understand that there's just something going on in there. Whoever it is that's going after him there could very well try and have somebody go after him in Webb County. Who knows? I don't want my client to end up on the slab. So if the court would consider that and reduce the bonds to a reasonable amount, which I believe is 10,000 on each, then I think that would be appropriate. And the evidence, I believe, does support that.
All right, State?
Judge, we oppose any bond reduction. Clearly, there's a whole lot going on around this individual due to presumably his past and potentially current gang situation. For the safety of the community and also for his own safety, we feel he should remain in the jail and await his trial.
All right. And cause number 2021 CR 6040, for the record, that there was no bond reduction motion filed in that case. So the court is not considering a bond reduction in that case. In 2021 CR 1784 and in 2021 CR 1809, the motion for a bond reduction in each of those cases will be denied. The court will add full GPS if the defendant is released. GPS fees will be waived and there's to be no contact with the complainant. Is there anything else from either side with regards to this hearing? And the
Nothing
court's ruling?
Nothing from the defense.
All right, this case will be scheduled for jury trial on January 13th, 2021. It may be sooner, Mr. Dawes.
22.
I'm sorry, thank you, 22. It may be sooner. It really depends on whether or not we have jurors at that time. As both parties are aware, jurors have been suspended. Any objection to January 13th, 2022 as a jury trial date, Mr. Dawes?
No objection from the defense.
Mr. Martin, any objection to January 13th, 2022 as a jury trial date?
No objection.
All right, then Mr. Perez, we will have your jury trial on January 13th, 2022. However, if we're able to have that sooner than that date, we will let your counsel know and we'll have you brought over dressed for trial. If you are released from custody, then you need to appear in the 187th District Court, which is located at 300 De La Rosa on January 13th, 2022 at 9 a.m. If you are still in custody, you will be brought over from whatever facility you may be at, be it Webb County or Bexar County Jail, and you will be brought over dressed for trial on January 13th, 2022. However, if jurors are available sooner than that, we will have your trial sooner than that. Anything else before we close the record? State. Mr. Martin, anything else? You're on mute.
No, nothing further.
Defense, anything else?
Nothing further.
Do you and Mr. Wolf need to speak with Mr. Perez before he's sent back?
You can send him back. I can set up a Zoom with him.
All right, deputies, if you could have Mr. Perez be excused, please. Thank you so much for your cooperation.
No problem. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, you may be excused.
Mr. Wolf? Yes, thank you, Judge.
Mr. Wolf, we'll see you back on January 13th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right, I'm going to take up Alexander Cooley. Who are the parties on Alexander Cooley?
Raymond Bell for the defense, Judge.
And who is the prosecutor?
Meredith was the,
Okay, thank you. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 2616, State of Texas versus Alexander Cooley. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense?
Raymond Bell for the defense.
And are you Mr. Cooley? Could you unmute, please?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Cooley, I'm going to show you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, Mr. Cooley, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Probation, and states motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Mr. Cooley, did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Alexander Gray Cooley who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 2616 for the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle on September 2nd, 2020 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, state.
In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Alexander Gray Cooley, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the month of July 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
That's true.
State?
State will waive the remaining violations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Cooley, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 2 years in a state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Your Honor. We're asking this court to adjudicate him guilty, revoke his community supervision, sentence him under 1244 of the Penal Code to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail with credit for any time served. I believe that also includes, I think he did ISF.
Okay. Is that the agreement, Mr. Bell?
It is, Your Honor.
Probation, Mr. Hernandez, did Mr. Cooley successfully complete ISF?
Yes, Judge, he did.
Yes, the
He
only
completed
difference
91
is it'd be
days.
a little bit more.
Sorry, how
State
much
ISF.
time?
For
91.
driving court fee.
All right, thank you.
Would you like the
Mr. Cooley-
dates?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Mr. Cooley, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Then the court will follow your agreement. The court will find you guilty, sentence you under 1244 to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail, give you credit for any time served. There's to be restitution to Antonio Cervantes Diaz and Jasmine Douglas and County Court Cause number 633568. Is there anything else from either side with regards to, and I'm sorry, I'll give you credit for any time and ISF. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
No, Judge.
Not from the defense, Your Honor.
Mr. Cooley, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Did you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Cooley, how old are you?
22.
All right, you just made your life more difficult than it had to be because now you have a felony conviction. That's going to make it harder for you to find employment. That's going to make it harder for you to get any occupation that requires a license. Do you understand?
Yes.
All you had to do was report. And I note that this is the second time that we've come here for a motion to revoke for you because you're not reporting. I hope you learned something from this experience. Good luck to you. Norma, you can let them know that 14D can go back. All right, and Mr. Vale, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
You're welcome. You too. Who are the parties on John Salazar? John Salazar.
That would be Bill Simmons for defense, Your Honor.
Marcus.
All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 7017, State of Texas versus John Salazar. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Bill Simmons for defense.
And are you Mr. Salazar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sal, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No objection.
Mr. Salazar, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video conference. Defense, I'm showing you what's entitled discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review that discovery with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court will find that the defendant has, I'm sorry, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Salazar, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge, we're waiving the enhancement paragraphs.
I'm sorry, you trailed off. Waiving what?
The enhancement paragraphs?
All right, Mr. Salazar, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court's Admonishment and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand what you're charged with, this felon in possession of a firearm? With the waivers, that makes that a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
In my opinion, he does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
In my opinion, he was, Your Honor.
Mr. Salazar, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 10 years in the prison and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counselor, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then Mr. Salazar.
Well, they were
to the
filed, but
office.
not urged, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Simmons. Mr. Salazar, then to the offense is charged. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, the state offers States Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any
No
objections?
objection.
Mr. Salazar, I'm going to show you a document entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty and find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor. If it pleases the court.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We just pray that the court would follow the plea agreement, Your Honor.
All right. Court will follow your agreement, Mr. Salazar. The court will sentence you to 10 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Salazar, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And also because this is a felony conviction, which I think you now know, if you didn't know before, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand, Mr. Salazar?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Salazar, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You were filed on as a habitual. You don't want to come back as a habitual and have your habitual status be, felon in possession of a firearm and the other felonies you have. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because then your minimum is 25 years, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So don't make life more difficult than it has to be. I've discovered in my time on the planet is life is really simple, but sometimes people make it more difficult than it has to be. All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
So how old are you?
42.
All right. You're 42. You get in, as I always tell people, you're getting to that point where you're going to have more of your life behind you than in front of you because This is not the Highlander. People are not going to live forever, right?
That's right, Your Honor.
All right, so do better, all right?
I will, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Salazar. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Norma, 14G can go back. Mr.
To be
Simmons,
excused, Your Honor.
thank you for your patience. Yes, you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Matthew Finch.
Judge, on Mr. Luevino, Marcus and I have done a bunch of paperwork, but apparently we have an issue with the prior judgments for the plea paperwork. And we're hopefully we could recall this on Thursday so that Marcus can get that addressed. But we have an agreement. We're ready to do it just for that bump in the road.
Okay, let me find your client's file.
We were originally here for the bond
it's a
reduction because
NIMAG
it is a
number.
NIMAG, Judge, yes.
All right, Norma, on Matthew Finch's client.
Yes, ma'am.
If we're going to recall that for Thursday, the 23rd for a plea, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you and your client are excused. Thank you for trying to get that done.
Thank you,
Thanks
Judge.
for your patience.
Your Honor, my client's in custody. Can you let the jail know that he can go back?
Yes, Norma, that's L9.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you,
And
Judge.
Mr. Levino, how you pronounce your name, please, sir?
It's Lou Wevino.
Lou Wevino. All right, we will bring you back on Thursday, September 23rd. Thank you so much for your patience. Norma, he's L9.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Everybody have a good
Mr.
morning.
Finch.
Thank
All right,
you.
you too. Thank you. All right, Patricia Vieira.
Right here, Judge.
Yes. What is happening, Mr. Cervantes?
I don't believe Mr. Cervantes showed up to court, Judge.
Okay.
Yeah, Hunter checked with the deputy to see if anybody was in person, and we don't see him on Zoom.
All right, then this is a violation report. This is actually his 5th violation report.
Yes,
and
Judge.
I've given him numerous chances. So I'm going to issue a judge's warrant.
Okay.
And we will see if we can get him to appear. If you're able to get in touch with your client at some point in time, let the court know. And if he appears, and he will have to physically appear in the courtroom, if he appears, then the court will reconsider.
Yes, Judge. I did try reaching him when Officer Martinez first notified me of his violations back on Thursday, and I wasn't able to reach him. And then with Norma's email Friday, I wasn't able to reach him. And then yesterday, I wasn't able to reach him.
All right. Thank you. Thanks so much for your
Thank you, Judge.
patience.
May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Charles Bonk. All right. Teresa.
I'm here.
Yes. All right. Charles Bonk on your cases.
We have an agreement on Contreras.
Okay.
On Crystal Gonzalez, we're going to ask for a 30-day reset on her. And then that's going to be resolved on that day.
All right. And why do we need a 30-day reset on Miss Gonzalez?
For her to complete a couple of things that Meredith would like her to complete in order to resolve this matter.
All right. Norma, on Crystal Gonzalez, can you give me a 30-day reset in the chat box, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, on Crystal Gonzalez, we're going to come back on October 25th. And Miss Gonzalez and Kevin, I want it noted in the file. Before I do anything with your case on that day, if you worked out something with the state where this will be resolved, you're going to have to give me a clean UA. You understand?
Yes, Judge, we understand that's part of the deal.
Yes,
She's going to take a UA before that court date. So yes.
All right. So Kevin, do you need to speak with Miss Gonzalez?
Do you want her to submit a UA today, Judge, or just anytime before the next hearing?
I'll break out with Kevin and Crystal and explain what's going on if you don't mind, Judge.
No, that's not a problem. Kevin,
Yes, Judge.
let's have her do a UA tomorrow.
Okay.
And Charles,
Right,
I'll
so the
send
phone
you
number that I have
to a breakout room with Kevin.
Okay.
All right, and I'll send you to breakout room
414
number 1. So Charles, if you'll go to 1, Kevin, if you'll go to 1,
Sure.
and Miss Contreras. I'm sorry, Miss Crystal Gonzalez. Trying to find where you are. Okay, if you'll go to number 1, please. And Charles Bunk on Rick Contreras, if you can put what's happening on that case before you go in the chat box to Miss Ferguson, so we can get paperwork if needed.
Yes, Judge, I will.
Judge, I already did that. Norma should have it. Start.
I just need an email from Charles's client.
I'll get that.
All right, Kelly Piddle.
All right, thank you. I'll be back.
Thank you.
Judge, I conferred on Isaiah Martinez's red hearing, and we're not gonna have an agreement, so we have 1 witness.
All right, just give me a moment. Miss Gonzalez, I need you to go to breakout room number 1. All right, and then John Robertson, who do you have?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Jacqueline Viegas, case number 2019 CR 13763.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
CTD, I believe. It's an MTR and a new case.
All right, let's find out if your client is here first. Is there a Jacqueline Viegas here?
I did not see her. I've been able to contact her since the last court date. The last court date, I think I submitted paperwork that she had COVID. And since then, I haven't been able to track her down.
Okay. We're going to go on the record. Is there an attorney available, please?
Morris, Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 13763, State of Texas versus Jacqueline Viegas. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Morris.
For the defense?
John Robertson.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Judge.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court will note for the record that this hearing was originally scheduled for July 9th, and then it was recalled for July 23rd. The defendant was to provide a UA on July 9th. And then on July 23rd, it was recalled for August 25th because defense counsel stated the defendant was ill. And then it was recalled, the warrant was recalled on August 26th because that's when the court was notified and received documentation that the defendant was ill. So now we're here on a motion to revoke on September 20th. The defendant has not been on the Zoom screen. It is now 11:45 a.m. This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. Deputy Laura or Deputy Mejia, has there been a Jacqueline Viegas in the courtroom at all today?
No, Your Honor, she has not.
All right, defense, do you have an update on your client?
I do not, Your Honor. I have reached out to all the contact information I had, and since the last time, I haven't been able to get a hold of her.
All right, state.
They would ask this court to forfeit the defendant's bond and issue a warrant.
All right, the court will grant the motion. Remand your client without bond. If you're able to get in touch with your client, Mr. Robertson, just make the court aware, and if she appears by Zoom, of course, the court will reconsider.
Yes, Your Honor. I will continue to keep trying.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Charles Bunk.
Yes, Judge, I'm getting my client's email address right now and texting him so I can get that to Norma.
Okay, because the court is going to take a break at 12. Teresa Conley.
I'll have it before then.
All right, thank you. Teresa Conley.
Your Honor, we've been trying to get some documents that the original people.
I've been sitting there waiting on Stephanie Boyd for 3 hours.
Put in the record. Kevin has those documents now, and I'm just hoping we can confer with Meredith another moment.
All right, I'll see you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you.
Oh. What are the things you hear? All right, and Meredith, if you're available to go to number 2 to speak with Teresa Conley, please. Okay, Greg Demarie, and then we're going to take up Kelly Piddle's matter. Okay, who's the attorney on Kelly Piddle's case?
It's Hunter, Judge.
I'm working on it, Judge. Hunter.
Okay.
I guess before we jump into it, Judge, I do have an exhibit.
Okay, sure. And everyone, when you go dark on your screen to all attorneys, I assume that you're in another Zoom. So that is why your case is not called. Larry Blumkus.
Yes, Judge, how are you doing? I did talk to the prosecutors. We weren't able to come to an agreement. We just would like to address that bond issue with you.
Okay, who was the prosecutor you were working with?
David from Family Violence. I think David Martin.
All right. We're going to take up Kelly Piddle's case, and then we'll do Mr. Pettis. Is your client present?
Yes, he is, Your Honor.
Okay, while Mr. Morris is sending that evidence, we'll go ahead and take your case up, Mr. Bloomquist. David Martin, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, the court is going to call NIMAG number 627101 and 627100, State of Texas versus Janta Devon Pettis. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
David Martin.
For the defense?
Attorney Larry Bloomquist.
And are you Mr. Pettis? Could you please unmute yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No objection.
All right, the defense has filed a motion to amend bond conditions, request removal of ankle monitor, request to waive fees for ankle monitor, and request to alter the restrictions of the ankle monitor. State, are you prepared to proceed on the defense's motion?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Bloomquist, the court, of course, has not made any decision on your motion, but
Sure.
if the court were to decide for your client to remain on GPS, the court will, of course, request that your fees be waived. So
Thank you.
then the issues that need to be addressed are the removal of the ankle monitor. So you may begin.
So Judge, Mr. Pettis is he's a service member, so he's in the Army. And we have several problems. So obviously he needs to attend to his duties. And right now he's on full house arrest and he's not able to attend to his duties. One kind of additional complicating factors with this is that his normal duties requires him to wear his, we call them BDUs or battle dress uniform. And part of that entails wearing combat boots, and it's not possible to wear the ankle monitor and wear the combat boots at the same time. Also, he's been in the service for many years. We're just asking that he's able to do his job. And so if we can remove the monitor, then I think he can do his job. I'm not necessarily opposed to having some type of, the other thing is with the military service, it's not like a 9-to-5 job. So sometimes you have to go in very early in the morning to do physical training. And then you have to go and come back. And sometimes you work later than normal hours. Sometimes it's earlier than normal hours. So and this schedule shifts from day to day. So it makes it very difficult for him to be on a normal, call them every day. Then he has a schedule change because it's frequent. And oftentimes they work on the weekends as well. So it's just very difficult for him to do his job under the present conditions.
All right, so with regards to him being allowed to do his job, is it possible, state, for him to report after the fact that he is on duty within 24 hours?
Oh, I mean, that I don't know. I'm not sure how pretrial services would work that. I mean, we're okay with him having partial to go to work and everything. It's not an issue. It's just,
Okay.
I think the randomness of the times he's going to be gone is more the issue.
All right, so it appears that there's an agreement that your client be allowed to work. If there is, but does your client have a set schedule or no?
Well, I think they have normal duty hours, but then they, as a former Army officer, I can tell the court that you have your normal duty officer hours, but then there's usually additional things that you have to do. And oftentimes there are training or other events that occur outside of normal work hours. So for example, there may be a physical fitness test that's scheduled earlier than your normal work hours. There may be training events that are scheduled outside your normal hours.
Are you saying that they tell them this the day of?
Yeah, I'm just telling you, as a former Army officer, I've been sent to Germany with 4 hours notice. So yes.
Well, no, I mean, my question is, are you telling me that they do this the day of?
I've had changes when I was in the service. I've had changes day of many times, Your Honor, and also at short notice. They need somebody to go here or X place, and then additionally, one of the biggest problems again is I'm not sure how he can to be in the service. You have to wear your uniform, and I don't see how he can wear the combat boots with the ankle monitor.
All right, state. Defense is stating that the defendant can't wear the ankle monitor while on duty. So is it the state in agreement to removal of the GPS or no? Here's the thing.
At this time, not to the removal, Judge. We don't have enough information about the cases to really,
Okay. Here's the
I guess,
thing.
consider that.
Yes. Here's the thing, and I want everybody to know this. Mr. Pettis, I don't know any facts about your case. All I know is that you are charged with 2 aggravated assaults with a deadly weapon. I don't know who the alleged complainants are. I know nothing. All I know is I have someone before me who has 2 aggravated assaults with a deadly weapon that they're being charged with. I don't even know what the weapon is alleged to be. So personally, and from reviewing what's been given to me by your attorney, what's been presented, I don't feel comfortable with the removal of the GPS.
Can we set a curfew, Your Honor?
State, any objections to a curfew?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that they'll vary his hours and have him come in, kind of off hours at times, but absent a very emergent situation, I would imagine he'd have at least a few hours notice that he could at least email or call pretrial services to let them know. I mean, you were asking about after the fact. I mean, even if it's on the weekend, if he emails or calls and says, I just got, notified that I have to go in, at 6 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. or whatever. I mean, I would assume there's somebody that works with pretrial services on the weekends that if they can at least see that he's out of his zone and out of his time block, that they'll have that message like, oh, okay, well, he went to work. But
all right, this is what we're going to do. Mr. Bloomkitz, are you able to come back this afternoon?
Yes,
at
Your Honor.
2? All right, Mr. Pettis, I'm going to have you come back at 2. Ms. Ferguson, can we make sure that someone is here from pretrial services at 2 on Mr. Pettis's case? Because
Yes,
Mr. Pettis, I'm trying to figure out how we can make sure that you keep your employment and everything is done so that there will be no problems with pretrial services, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. May I?
Don't make any statements, Mr. Pettis. you and I'll talk, and we'll be back at 2:00, and you can call me and we can discuss it after on the break.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you back at 2.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, can I jump in?
Yes.
Teresa? Meredith and I conferred, and she wants an affidavit of non-driving, but also some way to monitor her, whether she's drinking or not. Now, Destiny does have a one of those home monitoring systems, but they turned it off because she owes them $1,000. She doesn't
Okay,
have that.
Miss Conley, I'm gonna have to
Yes.
have you come back at 2 p.m.
I
and I'll
can't
take up.
today. I'm sorry, Your Honor, I have a doctor's appointment for wound care. It's very important.
Okay, we'll recall you for tomorrow. Are you
Tomorrow.
available tomorrow?
I've got a pretty full case of a pile of cases tomorrow. Wednesday, would that work?
All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you to a breakout room with Miss Ferguson.
Thank you.
Judge, that will work.
All right, we will see you on Wednesday.
Thank you, Judge. Maybe
Your client,
excused.
yes, and your client will need to be here on Wednesday.
Thank you.
Hunter, could you start your video, please?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. All right, the court is calling CM number 086623, State of Texas versus Isaiah Anthony Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Hunter Morris.
for the defense?
Kelly Piddle.
All right, and are you Mr. Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
No.
Mr. Martinez, your attorney has filed an application seeking a bond reduction. State, have you had a chance to review that document?
Judge, I don't have a physical copy of it or a digital one, but I've been advised of it by another ADA.
All right, and are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge.
All right, defense, you may proceed at your motion.
Judge, we call Tiffany Capello. Ms. Capello, if you could unmute and turn on your video, please.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, Ms. Capello, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand if you could state your name for the record, please.
Tiffany Capello.
All right, defense?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Capello, how are you related or how do you know Isaiah Martinez?
Oh, he's my fiance.
Okay. And have you?
All right, no, time out. Ms. Capello, you're gonna have to find a place where there's not that much noise on your end. So when is your break, Ms. Capello?
This is my only break. I only have one break.
All right, the court reporter is not going to be able to hear Ms. Capello.
Okay. I'm gonna go already. Oh. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Okay, I'm open already.
All right, defense.
Ms. Capello, so are you aware of what Isaiah Martinez's bond is set at?
Yes.
And have you called any bondsmen? Well, let me ask you, what is his bond set at?
75,000.
Okay. Have you called any bondsmen about bonding him out?
Yes, I've called every single one I possibly could call.
Okay. And how much do they want?
Some of them want 2,000, some want 3,000. The lowest I found so far is 17.
Okay. And how much money do you have right now for the bond?
I have 800.
And Mr. Martinez, does he own a home?
No.
Does he own a car outright?
Does it count if it's in the end town? I recently got a car. And the day he got arrested, our car went to the impound. But
Okay.
it is ours.
Okay. Do you own it outright?
Sorry?
Do you own it outright, or is there a note on the car?
I believe we needed to pay 200 more and we would have got the title and everything from the owner.
Okay. Where would Mr. Martinez live if you were to make bond?
We'd be living at my grandma's.
Okay.
Cairo?
And that's here in Bexar County?
Yes.
Where's Mr. Martinez from? Is he from Bexar County or is he from somewhere else?
No, he's from here.
Okay. And if he were to be granted a bond, would he be able to find work and be able to work to pay the remaining of his bond?
Yes, sir. He actually has work already for him as soon as he gets out.
Okay. We pass with this.
All right, state.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Capello, what kind of work does he have lined up?
He does landscaping. He does a tape and flow inside houses. Actually, a little bit before he got arrested, we were already working on houses. We had found a new boss, and he was actually helping us out. We were liking the job, and they had at least 4 houses lined up for us, and he's still calling me till today.
So you go into strangers' houses?
I'm sorry?
You go into strangers' houses for work?
No, it was construction basically. Like when they're building the inside, like after they pick it up and you basically, it's a skeleton and then you put the walls up and the drywall and tape and flow. He knows how to do all that work. He knows the landscaping and everything. He knows how to put up fences. So there's a lot of work for him.
How long have you been with him?
We're going on 2 years.
2 years. Are you aware he has some criminal history?
Yes, I was aware.
That he's been to jail?
Yes.
And you were with him on June 11th, 2021, weren't you?
Yes. Well, my birthday was the day before, June 10th. So he fell asleep, and then after that he got up and went to work the next day.
After the incident, he went to work?
No, we already had been at work.
Is he normally an impulsive person?
I object to relevance.
Earl. Please answer the question. All right. Your client is obviously having a problem with her video. Mr. Piddle will come back at 2 p.m. Norma, can you let them know that Mr. Martinez will be back at 2, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Bonk, are you ready on Mr. Contreras? And Norma, he's 14H.
Thank you.
He's coming on, Judge. I can hear him in the other room arguing with.
I'm here, Judge.
All right, have you done all the paperwork on Mr. Contreras?
No, I don't. No. Yes, I have now. Yes.
All right, your client needs to do the paperwork.
Yes. Done. I'll have him do it. It'll be real fast.
All right, the court has a meeting at 12 p.m. And who is the prosecutor on Contreras, please?
Meredith McIntyre.
And is the agreement for your client to be continued?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 2910W, State of Texas versus Rick Anthony Contreras. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Charles Buck for
For the
Mr.
state.
Contreras.
For the state,
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
for the defense?
Charles Buck.
And are you Rick Contreras?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Judge.
Mr. Contreras, did you review a document with your attorney entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
We have discussed it, Judge. He is in the process of electronically signing it.
I'm doing it right now as we speak, ma'am.
We have discussed it and we have no objections.
All right, Mr. Contreras, did you review a document with your attorney entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference? Did you electronically sign it and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Mr. Contreras, I'm showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Rick Anthony Contreras who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2021 CR 2910W for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor. But
On March 30th, 2021 for a period of 4 years. Is that you?
yes, ma'am.
State.
On or about the 10th day of May 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Rick Anthony Contreras, did then and there illegally use a controlled substance, namely marijuana, in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State.
State waives the remaining violations.
Any objections?
No.
Mr. Contreras, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Judge. We're asking this court to deny the motion, continue him on his deferred adjudication, alter and amend his conditions to include weekly reporting and weekly UAs until he can re-enroll in his intensive outpatient treatment program.
Is that the agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Contreras, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will find violation of condition number 2 true. The court will deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to include weekly reporting. And Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to want him tested for levels. And you to weekly report and weekly UA until you are back in intensive outpatient treatment with probation. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Contreras, from here on out, you need to ask yourself, is marijuana worth going to prison for 20 years? I would say no, but sometimes people say, well, I want to do what I want to do. If you continue to use marijuana, we're going to have a problem because while you're on deferred adjudication, you're not allowed to use marijuana and you're not allowed to drink alcohol, even at your own home or at family barbecues. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think you want to end up at the prison and people say why you're here. And your answer is because I couldn't stop smoking marijuana.
Yes, ma'am.
So don't come back here. Don't come back here saying it was a vape pen. Don't come back with somebody passed me a cigarette. I didn't know what was in it. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right.
Now,
good luck. Yes.
Did you want, I'm supposed to go take a drug test for you today as well, right?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And they're
I
going
will.
to test you for levels. Or is it going to be positive?
Yeah, it's going to be clean.
Okay. All right. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. And after that, you are excused.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a great day.
Oh, thank you. You have a great day too.
You have a great rest of your week too.
Hey, I appreciate that. Pretty soon somebody's going to come on and say, have a great rest of your year.
I hope you do, ma'am. I hope you do.
All right. Thank you. I've sent
You're
you to
welcome.
breakout room number 1.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, everyone, we're going to take our 2 o'clock break. And Mr. Hernandez, if you could go to breakout room number 1.
Okay, Chris, I asked
And I'm going
him.
to stop the